Welcome back to the AZ Gooner. Arsenal have finished their USA tour, playing 3 games in New Jersey, DC, and LA. Came away with 2 wins and 1 loss. Overall, a pretty successful tour. Now, the first game against MLS All Stars, gave my post match reaction in another video. You can go check that out. But in this video, I'm going to share my thoughts on the other 2 games and give some standout players, share some thoughts about what I learned from Arsenal after this tour. Now, the first game against Manchester United didn't really go our way, a 2-0 loss. I think coming into the game, a lot of fans were very, very confident that we would get the win. I think in a rivalry game, obviously, it's still a preseason friendly, but we want to beat Manchester United. And the fact that we lost, I think it hurt even more. There was some panic after the game. I don't think that I think it's too early for that. A lot of people questioning some of the signings, Rice Havertz, and how it'll work. But I think we just got to give it time. I think you could tell that seeing all 3 of our new signings playing together for the first time, you could tell that they need some time to learn the system and need time to gel. I think also the fact that Manchester United didn't have their strongest team out, uh, having no striker, Kobe Mainu in the midfield, Tom Heaton in goal. I think because we had a stronger team, we were more confident as a fan base that we're farther ahead in our process than United. I think fans were a bit hurt by that loss, but ultimately, I think that it could have been a very different game. Martinelli missing a couple chances early on, and then for the 2 goals from Manchester United, I think there are just 2 mistakes from us. I mean, Ramsdale should be saving that first goal, and then Gabriel with a bad mistake for the second goal. So it was our own mistakes that lost us this game, and then we really didn't create much at all in the second half when the new team uh, came in. Ultimately, we got outplayed by Manchester United, but it's a preseason friendly. We'll see them in the Premier League when it matters. Now, the last game of the tour was in LA, SoFi Stadium. I was at the game. An amazing stadium, and an even better performance. Arsenal scoring 5 goals. Very, very strong performance. Strong team they put out. Uh, I thought they were excellent in build-up play. They were playing the ball around the park. I thought they totally dominated the game. All 3 of the goals from Barcelona were because of our mistakes. I mean, Lewandowski, the first goal, Odegaard loses the ball. Saliba, I thought could have done better to get across, and then no one was there to clear it off the rebound from Ramsdale. And then we look at the Rafinha goal, a deflection from a free kick, very unlucky. Ramsdale dies the other way, and then Rob Holding slips for the Ferran Torres goal. So I think 3 avoidable goals. Ultimately, I think the scoreline looks a lot closer than it was. I thought we totally dominated Barcelona. We showed a lot of effort. Very, very competitive, high-intensity game for a friendly. Even Xavi was complaining about how hard Arsenal were playing in a preseason friendly. But I think this is what I want to see from the team. We responded after the Manchester United loss. I think we saw a lot of good things from this game. It made the tour worth it. If we would have lost this game, I think there would have been a lot of worries heading into the season. But we saw a lot of good performances, individual performances, and a good team performance. I mean, Trossard was amazing out there. Saka, Jesus all looked very sharp in the front 3. Havertz scoring another goal. I think Timber looked good as well. I think the one worry this preseason was the defending. I think defending's been off a little bit, but LA was a great experience being at SoFi Stadium. Now I'm going to get into some standout players from the USA Tour. Some honorable mentions who didn't make this top 6. Gabriel Jesus, I thought he looked very sharp. Came out firing against the MLS All Stars. Had another very good preseason just like he did last season. Ben White also looked very consistent throughout all 3 games, and just like he was last year at right back, very consistently good in every game he plays. Now, moving on to the top 6, we'll start off with Bukayo Saka. I thought he caused a lot of problems on that right wing. Like always, uh, very sharp, looks ready for the new season. Scored a goal against Barcelona. I thought he was our best player in our loss against Manchester United. set up a goal against Barca, assist against MLS All Star. So very, very good signs from our star boy. Moving on to one of the new signings, Jurriën Timber. When we signed him, we knew he was going to bring versatility, right back, center back, but he even played left back against Barcelona. And not only has he been able to show some versatility, he's played those positions very, very well. I think that he looks good on the ball. He's good at keeping possession, very strong, low center of gravity for a defender. So he uses his pace and his strength very well. So far, very, very good signs from Jurriën Timber. I think he looks like a first team player, and I think he'll push for a lot of playing time this season. There's going to be a lot of competition between that back line. So I think Arteta is definitely looking at trying to fit him into that first team at the start of the season. Next up, we got Leandro Trossard, the man of the match against Barcelona. For me, one of our most underrated players. He came in January and immediately contributed with goals and assists. It was his first preseason, first full season with the team. For me, he's the best finisher on this team. I think he can finish better than Gabriel Jesus. I think even though Martinelli was our top goal scorer last year, I think that Trossard just strikes the ball better than Martinelli. I think when you talk about left foot, right foot, bending from outside the box, driving it low into the corner, I think Trossard is the best finisher on this team. And I think it's going to be hard for Arteta to keep him out of the team because all he's done since he's come into this team is be clinical. I mean, he's a clinical finisher. Now, next up, Thomas Partey. Feels like Thomas Partey sort of got pushed under the carpet after we signed Declan Rice for 100 million, but Thomas Partey is still class, and I think he showed that in these two preseason games that he played against United and Barca. He understands how to play that sixth role. I think it's a role that Declan Rice is going to have to take time to learn. And so I think to start the season, Thomas Partey is going to be in that team. And I think it's going to be Rice. Rice is going to have to earn that spot. Next up, we got Kieran Tierney. Kieran Tierney has struggled to get game time, but when he played in this preseason, I thought he was very lively, had a lot of energy against United, came on, looked like he had something to prove, had an assist against Barcelona. So Kieran Tierney, we all love him, love his work ethic, never complains. It's just how much game time is he going to get because Zinchenko was brilliant last season. Tomiyasu even filled in at left back, and now Timber can play left back as well. So when does Kieran Tierney get his game time? I'm not sure, but I think he definitely showed and wanted to show Arteta that he wants to push for first team football next season. And last but not least, Kai Havertz, probably our most controversial signing of the summer. A lot of Raul fans giving us a lot of stick for signing Havertz, and even our own fans were unsure about the Havertz signing, as well as myself. I think that what we've seen so far, I would like Havertz to be a little more direct and more aggressive. I feel like sometimes he plays the game a little too passive, and I don't know if he's really built to play in that midfield. But what he is going to do is he's going to score a lot of goals for us. I think he's going to be a danger in the box. I think being able to play off the striker, be at that back post, I think he's going to score a lot of goals. I think he offers us something in attack that we don't have with the squad that we had with the squad last year, which is height. In the Barcelona game, we saw more of him being involved in the build-up, which is what I wanted to see, and he has some very nice passes in the build-up. So I'm seeing some positive signs from Kai Havertz through the preseason. I think it's definitely going to take some time to learn this role, but those are my top six standouts for the USA Tour. Finally, I'm going to share some things I learned from the tour. First up, Arteta is going to have a selection headache with his back four. We've seen so many different combinations and variations of the back line this preseason. Here it is. So many options at left back, right back, center back. And so how is Arteta going to choose his best four? I think that what Arteta will do is, depending on the game, uh, say against a low block team, I think Zinchenko will definitely be in there to help break down the low block. But then if we come up against a dangerous right winger such as a Mo Salah, I think he'll probably play Timber there just to have the right-footed left back to stop the left-footed right winger. When we see him do that last year when he put Tomiyasu at left back against Salah, Timber being able to play as a left back and right back. You got White who can play right back, and he was naturally a center back. So a lot of different variations. The main four you're gonna see is Gabriel at left center back, Saliba at right center back, and then either White and Timber at right back or Zinchenko and Timber at left back. So lots of variations. We'll see what Arteta does, but there's going to be a lot of games that we play this year. Now that we're in the Champions League, there's no more playing this second team in the Europa League. We're going to have to play first team every single game, Prem and Champions League. Another thing we learned is Flo Balogun, probably unlikely that he's going to get any playing time this season and will likely be sold. He's a very exciting young player, just changed his nationality to play for the U.S. national team, but he trained by himself in L.A., didn't get any game time in L.A. or against Manchester United. So I don't see Balogun playing. I mean, we look at our striker options. Jesus is our first team. If he goes out, I think Trossard comes in. Eddie then would be our third choice striker. I think even Havertz can play as a striker. So when is Balogun going to play? He's not going to play in just the FA Cup or the League Cup. He doesn't want that. He wants first team football. So I think Balogun is going to have to be sold. And I think there's no better time to sell him than right now after his season in the French League, scoring 20 plus goals, I think. So I think we're going to get the most value out of him right now rather than having him sit on the bench. I think we also learned that the new signings are going to need time to gel. They're going to need time to learn this new system, and we can't expect everything straight away from Declan Rice and Kai Havertz. Trossard really impressed me, and Martinelli is going to have to fight for his spot. I think those two will battle it out at left wing, but also we've seen Trossard play in the left 8 role as well, so I think Arteta's trying out different ways to fit in Trossard and Martinelli into the same team. Another player, Fabio Vieira, I was ready to say it might be time for Fabio Vieira because he came in last year. He looked very promising, but as the season went along, he did not impress me at all. I think he definitely needs more time in the Premier League, get more experience, develop. We've seen what he can do against Barcelona, but we also see very, very bad performances like Manchester United. So in this tour, Fabio Vieira is going to need time because I know that there is a player in there. And last but not least, a lot of rumors and links to strikers, a lot of fans wanting us to sign a striker, but I just don't see a realistic striker option out there in the market that's available that's better than Gabriel Jesus. We may see 1-2 more signings come in, but I don't think it will be a striker. I think it will be a goalie or a right winger. So those are the things I learned from the USA Tour. We're only a couple weeks away from the new season. Things are looking exciting. Keep on the lookout for more videos coming soon.